Today we're going to be presenting illusions and flashbacks. So as we just said, we're going to be presenting illusions and flashbacks. So we're going to present to you the definitions, the synonyms, the origin, the purpose, and some other different categories that you're going to see next. So Annyka, what can you tell me about the definition of illusions and flashbacks?
An illusion hints at something without actually saying what it is. A flashback is a scene in a movie, novel, etc. that is set in a time earlier than the main story. It is sometimes used to help the audience understand the characters by showing us their past. It can also help us understand the current events in the movie or novel. Chelsea, what can you tell us about the origin of these terms?
So for flashbacks, it means to or toward the rear of the original starting place, in the past, behind, in position, literary or figuratively, from Old English. So what they meant by that is they were in the present time and they went back to the past time to explain it better. In illusions, the origin of the word illusion comes from the word illusio in Latin. That means a play on words. The word was invented in 1542. So Annyka, what can you tell me about some resemblances between the two?
These figures of speech both make a reference to something that's happening in the story. What can you tell us about the purpose of these terms?
So for flashbacks, it interrupts the chronological order of a story to provide a better understanding of its background. So it interrupts the present time to go back to past time to give a better story of the character or an event that has already taken place. For illusions, it provides the reader with a deeper understanding of the writing by referencing something the readers are familiar with. So let's just say in Big Bang Theory, their target audience are more people of science, so they'll do more illusions about science. So what are some synonyms to have a better, deeper understanding of the subjects?
We can refer to an illusion as a reference, an insinuation, an implication, or an indication. Flashbacks are also referred to as the recollection of an event, a recovered memory, or nostalgia, sometimes referred to by the name analepsis.
So what are some featured flashbacks in movies, TV shows, and novels?
Well, this movie is Ratatouille, and there's others flashbacks in Friends or the novel Harry Potter. In this flashback, we can see the critic as the waiter brings his food, and as he's tasting a ratatouille, he's forced to remember all the times that his mom would make him the same meal. This flashback shows us that he has an emotional connection to that meal, and it's very important to him because his mom used to prepare it for him when he was a child. Now that we've seen featured flashbacks, let's go to featured illusions.
So in this example right here, we're going to see Rajesh Kutherpally make an illusion about Lady Gaga, her movie A Star is Born. So as we can see here, he made an allusion to the movie. In movies, we can see Alvin make an indirect reference to James Bond. In literature, Shakespeare makes an allusion about Cupid from mythology from the character Eros from Romeo and Juliet. What are some types of illusions?
Well, Chelsea, there's 4 types of illusion. The first one being historical. A historical illusion usually makes a reference to a person, time, or event that has a historical significance. A literary illusion is an implied reference to a person, event, or thing that is featured in a piece of literature. Mythological illusion references mythological figures or stories. Religious illusions refer to characters, stories, or particular passages in, for example, the Bible.
So now that we've seen the types of illusions, we're going to do a little exercise. So in the following sentences, what types of illusions are shown? He has a Napoleon mindset. And the answer is historical, because Napoleon is a historical figure. Chocolate is my Achilles heel. The answer is mythological, because Achilles heel makes a reference to mythology. Geez, stop acting like a Scrooge, would you? And the answer is literary, because it makes a reference to a literary context. Mr. Pratt-Node has a gigantic God complex. And the answer is religious, because God makes a reference to the Bible. What are some types of flashbacks?